everybody, and today, for the honor of Deadpool and Wolverine, this is not a movie review, but I'm going to be discussing top 3 of my favorite, designs or versions of Deadpool and Wolverine. So you're probably thinking this is going to be the comic book versions, but I decided to go with TV shows and video games and movies, sort of. But I'm going to go over, first, I think Wolverine, then Deadpool, and then I'm going to mention some honorable mentions. So, anyway, let's get started. So, I'm not really going to include the movie Wolverine, since that's easily the top of my favorite Wolverines of all time. But Wolverine doesn't really wear a costume in the movies, other than a black leather suit, and most of the X-Men do in that movie. And they try to make them look rad or something. And then, the 90s, X-Men 97, watch that show, by the way. They kind of make fun of the whole, how they wore black glitter in that movie, in those movies. So, yeah, Wolverine mainly just wears normal clothes. So, I'm not really going to include it too much, but I love Hugh Jackman as this character. He has been playing this character for so long that it's awesome that he's in this movie. But, as for the top, Wolverine is the classic yellow and blue costume that he wears. I chose the Shattered Dimensions version because that's the one that kind of got me into the whole Wolverine thing, since I love that design. It looks so accurate even in the game, the comic books. This is how we mainly identify Wolverine. And in the game, you do fight Wolverine, and later you fight a Venomized version. We'll talk about that one in a bit, but this Wolverine is classic. And you already feel his dynamic between Spider-Man and that game. So, yeah, that's the top Wolverine for me. As for Deadpool, we are going with the ultimate Deadpool. Not the one from the comic book, since that one's a different story. But this Deadpool is from the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. So, yeah, that show's not really loved by many people. But as for myself, I have a soft spot for it since it's what got me big into Spider-Man. And the way I got into Deadpool was because of this cartoon. Even though Deadpool's very adult character. But this version of Deadpool is played by Will Friedle, Batman Beyond himself. And I gotta say, I do like this version of Deadpool, even though he was only in one episode. He's funny. Yeah, he doesn't swear. He breaks the fourth wall. And it's all good fun with this version of Deadpool. And yeah, he does get into a fight with Spider-Man in that episode, because he was going to kill some guards, and he tried to kill Taskmaster. But he's still lovable at the end of the day. But that's Deadpool for you. He's an assassin. So what do you expect? So next is literally the Ultimate Wolverine. So this is what got me into somewhat more into Ultimate Spider-Man, and it's not the Ultimate comic book version, since that one's that one's wild. But this Wolverine does explore some of the comic aspects of Ultimate Spider-Man, since if you don't know, Spider-Man and Wolverine swap minds in this show, and they also swap minds in the comic book of the same name, Ultimate Spider-Man. But it's different in the comic book, where, yeah, that one's a bit weirder, since Wolverine is acting weird towards MJ. Even in this cartoon, he acts flirty, and I don't know, that could be considered an adult joke. But anyway, this Wolverine design I actually really like. I like the brown, the yellow. It suits him. And it's in the 97 show of X-Men, where Wolverine does change his costume from the classic blue and yellow to that. But I hope to see that version more in season 2 of the show. But in Ultimate Spider-Man, he was only in it for 3 seasons, and then he kind of just stopped appearing in the show, which is the disappointment, since it was probably because of Fox and Marvel. But anyway, this Wolverine was super fun. Steve Bloom always rocks it as Wolverine. He also played it in this game as well. So, yeah. Next is Deadpool the video game. So, I don't know if this really counts, since I've never played this game. but I've seen like YouTubers like PewDiePie played this game, and damn, this game looks so much fun, and it's very underrated. Nolan North is awesome as Deadpool. He's actually underrated. Like, I couldn't see anyone else voicing Deadpool than Nolan North. Like, even though he has played characters like Superman and some of the goons in the Arkham games, he's more known for video game roles. But he's awesome as Deadpool. And the costume looks cool. I like how they made a violent Deadpool game. And he's got his own ammo. He does break the fourth wall. And I think it's revealed at the end that he's been playing a video game the whole time. So it was cool. And this game doesn't get talked about much. If you've played this game, tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. But I think next is the number one for me is X-Men 97's Wolverine. So this version is so cool. It looks like how he started in the 1970s comics, where they rebranded X-Men and Wolverine started showing up. This version, I feel like this is what you identify when you see Wolverine in the comic books. Very cool, very sharp looking. Spoilers, he does lose his claws in it because of Magneto, but it looks like he could have the bone claws next season. But and as for the X-Men animated series himself, that Wolverine was super cool with his design. And he did occasionally quit the X-Men team in the show, but he did come back because he's loyal. And we mainly see Wolverine, like his backstory, and we also see his tension between Jean Grey and Cyclops. But other than that, Wolverine was a badass in this show. So many iconic moments with that version of Wolverine, his voice. The voice actor, I don't think he really was in the Marvel, but once he started learning the characters, as he did this show, he nailed it as this character. And he's back in the 90s show, which is awesome. Yeah. But, this Wolverine, not much else to say, but we could probably go on all day, but, this is my favorite. And as for it's very obvious what my favorite version of Deadpool is. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I really could not see anyone else playing Deadpool other than Ryan Reynolds. He originally did it in X-Men Origins Wolverine, and that movie didn't do so hot, and I think I'd like to review it sometime after my Spider-Verse review, but Deadpool, the movies, once Ryan Reynolds got to be finally star his own Deadpool movie, he finally fixed Deadpool. He's finally got the iconic Deadpool costume, and he's finally cracking the jokes. His mouth isn't sewed shut. He's finally the merc with a mouth. But I'd like to go more into that in my Deadpool reviews, which I plan to do. But I am so excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's chemistry, I already feel it. I feel it coming when I see Deadpool and Wolverine. But this Deadpool, what else is there else to say? It's super accurate. And Ryan Reynolds is amazing as Deadpool. But as for honorable mentions is Venom Wolverine. I love that design. It is so wild looking, over the top. It's what Wolverine's meant to look like as Venom. It's super cool. He's got it looks like his claws are just coming right out of his skin. And it's that yellow, and he just looks super overpowered. And when you do fight him in the game at that church, you're given the choice to either rip him in half or help him get him out of the symbiote. And that was a super cool boss fight in the game. But as for an honorable mention for Deadpool, it's the Shattered Dimensions Deadpool. I know it's kind of the ultimate Deadpool, but I don't know if that's canon. This one's canon to that. The Shattered Dimensions game's canon to the Ultimate Universe, but maybe inspired or a variant of it. That's kind of how I viewed it. But Deadpool's surprisingly a boss fight in the game. And when I played Shattered Dimensions, I didn't get that far with the Deadpool mission. I almost got there, but for some reason I could not figure it out. Which is why I really want to get Shattered Dimensions on the Wii, because that's what I played it on. And Deadpool was easily the best part. I was like, I think this is what inspired me to really get into Deadpool, since I was not allowed to watch his movie until years later. But Deadpool in this game rocks, and it's not a lot of people talk about how he was in this game. But he mainly runs like a game show, and you got to fight like his cameras, his goons. And yeah, Deadpool's pretty funny in the game per usual. So yeah, that's my top 3 Wolverines and Deadpools. I can't wait to review the Deadpool movies and some of the Wolverine movies. And I'm probably going to do a vlog on the Deadpool and Wolverine experience when I see it next week. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.